When there's conflict in your relationship, what could it mean? And more importantly, what do you do about it? Hi guys, this is Jeremy, your mindset mastery and peak performance relationship guy. In conflict, in relationships, it happens. In your marriage, in dating, in business, conflict is going to happen. You're going to have two different points of view, two different perspectives, two different ideas, two different standards. And how do you rectify that? How do you handle that? Is conflict a good thing or a bad thing? Or is it just a thing? So, conflict. One person has one idea, the other person has a differing idea, and we're crashing into each other. First thing you want to do is take a deep breath and calm yourself down, right? Just because they're pushing back against you does not mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean they don't love you or want to work with you or don't respect you. It just means they have a different point of view and they are giving you feedback. So if we can operate from a place of gratitude and appreciation for that pushback, hey, thank you for speaking your mind. Thank you for giving me another way of thinking about this and approaching this that I hadn't possibly considered. I'd love to have that conversation with you. Just being in that place of acceptance and appreciation already, it makes it easier for you to listen to what they have to share, even if you don't agree with it, because they're telling you where they are, what they need, what they want, what they're afraid of, what they're stressed about, what they're worried about, all good information that you can use to create something better, some sort of synergy between the two of you, if at all possible. Now, once we got that appreciation out of the way, the second thing we got to start thinking about really is, what are my must-nevers? What are my deal killers? What are my exit buttons? What are my, that's just not going to happen? And where are theirs? Where's the no-go zones? We got to know those places because that's not productive. And if you're crashing into someone and they have a solid, like, no way in hell is that happening, that's good to know because is this a deal we can make, right? If it's not win-win, this deal's not going to happen. So that might be the end of a marriage because one partner is, I forbid you. I do not allow. That will not happen. And it's like, well, but if this is something I need or something that's going to grow me or something that's going to expand me, like, I got to make this happen. And you're just completely shutting me off. Where's that coming from? Is that your own unresolved stuff that you're afraid you're going to be left out? You're afraid I'm going to grow past you? You're afraid I'm going to move on beyond you? Because maybe we can address that. And maybe you're right. Or maybe you have something you need to deal with for yourself that I can't be a part of. And we can agree to kind of separate our space, separate our goals until we come to that time and place where, okay, you've had time to work on this. Now let's reconvene and figure out where we are. Can we move forward together or do we need to be on different teams, like permanently? This is the goal of this whole path, is to take down the fault, the blame, the guilt, the shame, the projection, the wounds, the shoulds, the rules, to really get to what your heart needs. Because if you really want the best for the other person, you really want to expand their capacity, maybe us being together or us working together or us partnering, maybe that's not the best thing. Maybe it is a better situation. Let me free you up to the universe. And that is a difficult, painful situation, especially when we find, maybe this is a second marriage or a third marriage. Maybe there's a pattern of, I keep picking the wrong people. My people picker is broken. Well, then you need to get some coaching, get some support, get some counseling, get some therapy, get something to help you raise your standards and go, where is this coming from? Right? So what does this mean if we're not on the same page? It just means we're not on the same page. It doesn't mean we're bad people. It doesn't mean I have to vilify you and destroy you and you're this horrible person. Nah, just your thing doesn't align with mine. Cool. But if you notice the person you're trying to partner with is constantly diminishing, shutting down everything that you suggest, and it must be their way only, that's a sign they may have some wounds and some damage that haven't been dealt with, and maybe you're not the person to help them to move that forward. That's why I'm not pro-divorce, I'm not anti-divorce. It's a tool in the toolkit, one among many. Not every marriage needs to be or could be or should be saved. Sometimes we have to be with someone to learn exactly what not to be. Right? I had a relationship for 5 years, and unfortunately that relationship imploded, but it needed to, because I had things I hadn't dealt with for myself. I had lived in my feminine and people pleasing and doing all of these things to try to, I'll be the right person and I'll love you enough and then you'll finally love me the way that I want to be loved. And that's manipulation. That relationship ended, and it ended badly. And now it makes me appreciate my wife, Autumn, the woman I'm married to. And there's times when she's hard on herself or she's, feeling difficult about something or feeling some kind of way. And I'm like, no, thank you for telling me where you're at. Like I appreciate that you're letting me know I'm never going to make you wrong for your feelings. And we can go somewhere, right? And ultimately, I put a lot of the strategies, a lot of the things that I use now in my current relationship, my marriage that's coming up on 10 years this December, I put all of that into a hack pack, into a guideline. Yes, I was just writing about this today. Cool. Tag me in the writings, and I'd love to see that as well, Jacqueline. I'd be very curious to see what you have. But what I was saying is I've taken a lot of the tools that I use, the strategies, the frameworks. I mean, I've been working with people for 28 years. I've been working on myself for 42. It's a long time. And I put those frameworks into a package. I call it the Ultimate Husband and Child Hack Pack. And you can go to, turn this off. You can go to leadlikeaking.com/hack-pack, and I'll put the link down below. But you can go there and you can check out the hack pack. And it's some really cool tools, some strategies, some courses, some reports, and it's also 3 one-on-one calls with me to dial in exactly what's going on. So move forward further, faster, right? No fault, no blame, no guilt, no shame. Just you are where you are, and what are we going to do about it? So in communication, there's just feedback. That's really, if you approach it that way and go, okay, feedback, I'm getting information, then you're going to be able to weather those storms a whole lot easier and find a solution. And then look for the patterns. Look for the repeated areas that are just deal killers. You got to get those resolved. And can I win with this person, or are they so locked in their doubt and their fear, there's no way to move forward because I have to keep limiting myself to stay with them, and that's not fair to either of us. They need to be with somebody who's going to enjoy and appreciate the stability that they need, and I want a little bit less stability and more growth. And that's okay. It's just finding where you're going to be aligned and amplified more often than not, versus diminished and sequestered and cut off and closed off. Okay, so let me know what stood out for you, and look forward to next time. You guys make it a fantastic day. Talk soon.